Hello, friends, and welcome to my channel where all things are handmade with love by me. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I am working really hard to try and grow my channel, and it would mean the world to me. Also, don't forget to check out my website at shophandmadeproducts.com. So, today we'll be making this heavy duty and quite large nativity set. The blocks measure 4x8. Two 4x6s and a 4x4. So it is a pretty substantial piece that you can add to your Christmas decor. So without further ado, let's get started on this super cute nativity set. First, we're going to start in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to upload my SVG image from my computer into Cricut Design Space. Now, I do have this SVG cut file available on my website as an SVG, PNG, and JPEG file. But I'm offering all of my subscribers this file for free. So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and comment down below with the letters SVG, and I will get that over to you for free. Yes, for free. So here we have our image uploaded into Cricut Design Space. And what we're going to need to do first is we are going to add in a shape, a block. So we are going to resize the block to the size blocks that we have, which are 4x8, and then we have a 2x4x6. We have two of those, and then we also have a 2x4x4. So we're going to need to recreate those blocks into Cricut Design Space, and we're going to send it to the back. And I'm changing the colors on these blocks just to help me keep track of which color block goes with which image. All right, so I've got the yellow block behind the image that says holy, and that looks good. Now we're gonna add a text box here just for our video references only. We will erase these later. So this will remind me that this is my 4x8 block, ready to go. Now we're going to need to create another square, go up and resize it. I'm also going to change the color. And we're going to put it to the back behind Mary and resize the image as needed and move that out of the way. And here I am just repeating the same process for Joseph. Created another 4x6 block and resized the image and did the same for baby Jesus, which goes on a 4x4 block. And those all are ready to go and look good. So now we have the blocks sized to the size that we need. The images are resized. Now I'm just moving them into the order of which they will sit on my shelf. So the Holy goes in the middle, Mary and Joseph on each side, and then baby Jesus will go in the front. All right, so here's baby Jesus. I'm going to put him in the front, and I need to bring the image to the front, move it over, and make sure that everything is sized good. The letters on the O on the Mary's block was a little too big, so I resized it. I resized her and made sure that everything looked good. Then I select the image on each block, the word and the image on each block, and attach them. Now, the word holy was too big. The 4x4 block with Jesus on it was covering up that word, so I just resized it. Get rid of those numbers. We don't need those anymore. And now we're just going to align our images, our words, and our block all centered vertically. So go up to align, center horizontally, and then click attach. Move that out of the way. Well, we're going to do the same thing for the yellow block. Select everything, align, center horizontally, and click attach. And same thing, let's move that one so we can get to baby Jesus here. We're going to center, nope, not center. We're going to center horizontally. Undo that, select all, center horizontally. Then we want to attach. Move him out of the way, he's done. And then the last block, same thing. We have a word night here too far to the left, so I'm just going to detach that, move it over just a bit, select everything again, and then hit attach. Now all of our pieces are done, and we go to make it. And this is not what we want. We do not want to cut on 4 different colored mats. All of our vinyl is going to be cut in black. So I'm just going to get out of there, hit cancel, select everything and change the color to black. Looks like a big blob. Don't worry about that. No big deal. Go to make it. And here you can see here, this is what our image is going to cut as. All of the white lines is where it will cut. We want to cut on one mat only. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to move the object to the other mat by clicking those 3 dots, move object, and move it to the other mat. Now here it is. Just spin it around. We don't want to waste any material whatsoever. So here we are just making sure that we save as much material as possible and just cut on one mat. So I'm just going to move baby Jesus as well. And he doesn't fit. I'm moving things around, trying to get every image to fit on this one piece, and I can't get it to work. No problem. I have a solution for that. So hit cancel. And we're going to go back and take out baby Jesus. Here he is on the 4x4 block. Hit detach, take off the block and baby Jesus, erase the block, and hit make it. Now, we will still have to move that other object. Here she is. We need to move Mary to the other mat and just rotate her again like we did before to fit at the bottom, and then we can move baby Jesus to fit nicely on the mat as well, and you have saved yourself some vinyl. We are going to cut on one mat, and there's even an extra piece of vinyl left over on this mat, so that works out perfect. And I'm just going to straighten up the star block here and move Joseph just a hair. I don't like things to be so close together when they're getting cut out. Hit continue. And we are going to be doing this with heat transfer vinyl. So click that as the material. And don't forget with HTV, you need to make sure you turn on the mirror and that you face the shiny side down. And so we're going to go into edit. And we're going to turn mirror on. Bottom left, click there, and it's on. Now we are good to go. It will cut backwards, but it's HTV, so when we iron it on, it will go on correctly. Now I have my images cut out on that heat transfer vinyl. We are ready to weed this out. I'm just going to use my weeding tool. And you can actually find those in the dental section at the Dollar Tree. Comes in a little kit. It's a dental kit, and they actually have a pick that is perfect for this. Now, using this heat transfer vinyl is going to make it so simple, so simple to take out all of these little fine pieces of vinyl. I love using HTV when I'm working with little skinny letters, very intricate fonts. It just makes the weeding process and the applying process so much more simple. So here I am just weeding out all those tiny little pieces and making sure that I don't miss anything and it looks good. So we're just going to weed out the other one that says holy and then cut these apart. There are lines as a guide if you want to use those to just cut each of these pieces apart. Now we have our 4 different pieces, ready to set those aside. And these blocks, I'm going to sand them down. They're 2x4 blocks. You can buy 2x4s from the local Home Depot, and they will make your cuts for you in the store if you don't have a way to do it yourself at home. You'll also need an 80 grit sandpaper to get rid of those rough edges. There's lots of splinters and whatnot around the edges from when you cut it. So just use this 80 grit sandpaper. It's pretty coarse and it'll do a great job of getting rid of all of those rough edges. So you can also go to the back of the store and in the lumber section in the back, they usually have a pile of just discounted wood back there. Sometimes they have some for free, like the really warped pieces of wood. So go back there and dig around and see what you can't find as a deal. And they usually have some pretty, really inexpensive wood back there. After each block is sanded, we're going to use some rubbing alcohol. I got this little spray bottle at the Dollar Tree as well as the rubbing alcohol. We're going to wipe it down really well to get rid of all that dust and debris that it has on it from where we just sanded. Just make sure you give it a really good scrub, and I like to use a lint-free cloth here. And after sanding and cleaning it, I did see some minor rough spots, so I'm going to go in with my Dollar Tree sanding block and smooth it over once more. This sanding block isn't as rough as the 80 grit sandpaper, and it really gives the wood a nice smooth texture when finished. I know I'm a little bit out of screen here, but what I'm doing is just cleaning it once more with rubbing alcohol and my lint-free cloth. Now I'm just going to repeat the sanding and cleaning process to the rest of the wood pieces until it looks good and smooth, just like this one. Now that we have repeated that process for the rest of the blocks, this is what we are working with. Everything is smooth and ready to go. So we're just going to set those aside. I'm going to be using this Dollar Tree contact paper, and I'm going to stick it onto this mini Dollar Tree cutting board. You can find it in the Crafter Square section. And I'm just going to stick it right on there. And this will make the paint movable if I need to move the paint board around. It'll also make cleanup so easy. So I'm just going to stick that down and use my acrylic paint. Just pour it right on top of there. Here's my Dollar Tree sponge. It comes in a pack of 2 or 3, I believe, at the Dollar Tree. And of course, I have my handy dandy baby wipes. So I always use those when I'm painting with acrylic paint. And I'm just going to use that paint and give this block a really, really good first layer of paint. And I did go in with a second layer of paint and waited for that to dry. And but in the meantime, while I was waiting for that to dry before the second coat, I just wrapped my brush up in a baby wipe to keep it from drying out. And it'll just make it easier to not have to rinse it. So once I was finished painting, everything was done. I just took off that contact paper and threw it in the garbage. So here I have already ironed on one of the images. I just used my iron on the cotton setting with no steam. And I'm just checking to see if it's ready to go for me to peel that transfer sheet off or not. It wasn't quite ready. The word was ready, but the star was not. Sometimes this can be a little finicky, so just take your time, go real slow when you're peeling that off to see if it's actually stuck on or not. The word was good, like I said, so I'm just going to go and put some more heat onto that star for a little bit longer, 10, 15 seconds longer, to try to get that to stick down really well. Now I'm going to use this scraper that I actually found in the kitchen section at Dollar Tree. I just put some masking tape on the end to protect my project from the metal directly scraping my project and damaging it. And it works as a perfect extra large scraping tool. Cricut sells one that's really large, but this one can work in a pinch. It does great. I've used it for a long time and I've never had any issues. So if any of your images give you a hard time, like this star is, just add the iron back to it for a short bit and then see if it's ready. We're just going to repeat this for all of the blocks until all of our images are transferred, and this is what we have so far. All right, now I thought I was recording when I added the embellishments to baby Jesus. It says manger, but it didn't record, and I'm so sorry. But all I did was cut a piece of burlap ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree down to the size of the manger's rectangle. I could still, and I made sure that I could still see baby Jesus once it was attached. And then I just used some Dollar Tree Spanish moss, and I added this greenery and berries from this mini ornament to the front. Now, I knew it needed a little something more, so I'm just going to use my hot glue gun and this awesome makeup squeegee that you can find at Dollar Tree in the makeup section to help me stick down that hot glue. It's really great for working with hot glue on, small dots that you don't want to have to hold down with your finger. So I just used that, pressed it down, and super cute. I love how it turned out. It added just a little something to the top, nothing too fancy, and kept it simple. And I'm going to do the same thing with Joseph's block. And now I'm just made a simple bow with that twine, and I'm going to hot glue it to the top of baby Jesus's block. And I'm going to use my squeegee once again to help me press that down so I don't burn my finger. Once it's dry enough and not hot anymore, I can actually use my finger to push that down. I think it's so cute, so adorable. I love how it turned out. This set is so, so sweet sitting on my kitchen windowsill. I just love it, and it's a pretty good size. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I appreciate you joining me. I hope you learned something new. God bless. See you next time, friends. Bye-bye.